I am ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey, welcome to a Friday edition of the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Big E is here. Timko is here. K-Dog is an asshole still. He's here as well.
No poos.
Right, no poos again, yeah.
The poos.
Yeah, Beth is off to like Tuesday. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't she realize that she's the breadwinner and she needs to pick up some shifts? What's with that? Come on,
She
Beth.
is. They'll only let you work so many 13-hour days
Start
before
moonlighting,
they make
man.
you go home moonlight.
Find another job.
She's got to do jury duty. She's too important.
It's like, what, $3 a day?
Yeah, 12.
12?
How'd that go for her?
It sucked. Well, no, she was happy. She got dismissed. They didn't even interview her.
Did she still get the $12 if you're in it for that day or no? Okay.
Yeah, they'll give you the $12. It hardly seems worth it. I said, did they give you cash on site or did they write you a check? They write you a check.
Yeah, right. The government's going to be sitting there with
doling out a
cash.
10 and a couple singles. A 10 and a 2.
Got change. 2 5s and a 2. Good deal.
Yeah, so at least she's done with that. She washed her hands of it. I guess it was a capital something trial. And I said, capital murder? And she's like, I guess, but they didn't say capital murder. So I don't know what other
something
capitals
settled.
they
Something
could.
settled that made her go home. So
Something
that's
settled.
good. Something settled, man.
So yeah, she got to go home, and so good for her. Anyway, it's Friday. We finally made it to a Friday.
It's Friday the 13th, Mike.
Yes.
It is again already?
Yeah, there's like 5 of them this year.
I was going to say, there was already one.
There was 2 in a row. I actually pulled a Big E while I was with Beth earlier. She goes, it's Friday the 13th today. And I said, that's like the 3rd time this month.
Nice.
Just let that sit there for a second, folks. The 3rd time this month, it's Friday the 13th. And she went, yeah. Okay, what are you? You've been hanging out with Big E too long.
It might be the 2nd time this year, though.
Yeah, no, I think
It
I think it's the 3rd time.
2nd time this year.
It is. Was there one in December right before the New Year? Then I remember there being one, and she said it was Friday. It was the 28 days in February, which is why. Which makes sense. 4 weeks to the day.
Right.
Later, it would be again.
Flips it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so.
one in February, one in March. The last one was
This is compelling. Come on, E.
It is.
I'm looking, man. I'm scanning back. The last one was June of 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
I absolutely was certain. Maybe I just knew that there was another Friday the 13th coming up. Maybe that's what it is. But either way, yeah, Friday the 13th, always good, right? Anyway, big show. Dare I say a big show? We got a revealing farts discussion to get into.
Ooh,
Yeah.
The hard-hitting news.
Hard-hitting news. That's right. Will Ferrell playing some MLB. God, would I love to do that.
Great story. I love that, too.
Yeah. The bomber, the guys that did the marathon bombing in Boston, they're going through their witnesses on the stand, so they're all giving their testimony. They got to the testimony of the
Guy who was carjacked.
Yeah, the Asian kid that was carjacked. Oh, wait.
The what?
The Asian kid. Dun Meng, I think his name.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
I'm pretty sure he was Cantonese, but,
Matt.
yeah. But whatever. I'll wait.
Well, typical Jay.
I don't feel like Chinese tonight anyway.
Look at all these brain. None of us. We're not human. We're all human, Jay. Making mistakes here. You said Asian.
Just want to tell you that I'm sorry about what happened tonight.
And there's one of those
So you
mistakes.
don't rush me.
that
Don't
works.
rush me.
That
That's what
works.
happens when you rush me.
Did you see what happened? You see the way I said, I'll wait?
I thought Jay was able to talk and hit buttons at the same time.
The youth of today, like Big E, can't wait 1 second. They want instant
I
gratification.
don't want delayed
The
gratification.
youth of today. 31 years old. 31-year-old.
Exactly. The youth of the day. You're right, Mike. I am young and youthful. Young in blood. Something.
Young in blood. He's young in blood.
He is young in blood. Can we make that the red text today since we don't have red text there?
Young in blood.
Young in blood. Was that a play on
his familiarity with the movie Youngblood?
I was going to say
some glitch in his brain went hockey movie.
I was going to say the LA Rams from the 70s and 80s with Jack Youngblood and who was his brother? Is it John Youngblood?
No, he's too young in blood to know those young blood.
I meant
That's
to
true.
say some youthful blood rushing.
You
over
got confused with youthful blood, if that's something, and young at heart. I think.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's
whatever.
what he was thinking.
I think it.
And you got
Blood
Young
goes,
and Blood.
I
Blood
stand
goes
by
through
it.
the heart.
Right.
Yeah.
I
that's
stand
good.
by it.
You stand by Young and Blood. Okay, good. We'll make that the red text today. We got a nice beat down in McDonald's going on.
It seems to be lots of conflicts happening in McDonald's lately. I don't know. What
Is it
Or a high
McDonald's
establishment.
or is it cheap restaurants? That's the problem. But yeah, this was animalistic behavior to the fullest. When you watch this video, it's disturbing. It really is. Seeing kids, and there's very specific disturbing parts to this video that I just don't think would have happened when we were that age.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, we'll show it to you. Banana spiders. Not quite banana spiders, but spiders living on a banana.
Dude,
I know.
Dude, you always hear about this. This
Yeah.
is a real live story of this. It's
Yeah.
sort of like an urban legend before. Do you
Mhm.
check your bananas?
I don't. What's the deal with bananas? Why do they dig bananas so much?
Well, I think just because they come from that region of the world.
But you specifically hear these stories on bananas. Why not
Yeah.
other fruit that's coming from Costa
Yeah,
Rica?
I think they can probably like burrow into. There's a lot of
We're
little
supposed to-
crevices with
nooks and-
bananas. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're supposed to check our bananas
Yeah,
for what?
spiders.
Spiders, dude. That can grow up to 5 inches wide.
Are you serious? So what do? How do you check
I
your
don't know.
bananas?
I just give them a once over.
Just a little glance before you hand it
Like,
to Sweet Pie.
Before you open that? When you
No,
open them?
like before I buy them.
Oh.
And I kind of check up in the crevices by where they
Do
all
you
attach,
really?
just
Are
a
you
little bit.
serious?
Yeah. Just to keep an eye on it.
I've always
Man.
been paranoid about that.
I've never checked my bananas and I've
That-
never had a problem.
I would never have a banana again. Even if I just noticed it before I bought it in the store, if I saw that on there,
Oh.
bananas would be done,
Dead to you.
out, dead to me. Exactly. They don't exist on the
Dead to
planet
me.
anymore. Seriously, that would ruin it for me. It's as simple as that. We've got a creepy Barbie doll. To what is
Barbies are creepy enough as it is.
They
and then
are.
they add this wrinkle to it.
I imagine your family probably does not incorporate the Barbie brand by Mattel.
There's
Into your house.
Barbies in my house, but they've been given to Sweet Pie. They're like
Yeah.
hand-me-downs, so
I
half of
can't-
them have cut hair and no clothes, and they're just all mismatched.
That's yeah. I can't imagine you or Gab going out and
Buying
buying.
a Barbie. no.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it. We've got a dwarf story.
Awesome.
I know you're a,
A
big
little
fan
wee
of
guy. I
little-
love it.
Totally, like 38 inches or something.
Oh.
Like he's wee. He's really wee.
Cute
So-
little guy, just
yeah.
38 inches tall.
Ah,
I
look
love
at
it.
that. Yeah, he's a couple feet tall.
Couldn't even go to Cedar Point.
And then we got we should probably start, unfortunately, back in Ferguson. We'll try and
Ugh.
hustle through it. I know this story is just brutal. Every day. How long? What is this, like day 216 of the protests? I mean, literally, this has been just keep chugging along in the media for 216 days, and then you get what happened yesterday, which was 2 cops shot while protesters are hanging outside
Peaceful
of.
protesters.
Of course, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Yeah, the
Right.
peaceful protests that continue for, I think it's 216
Where
straight
are
days.
these? Where are these people's jobs?
Yeah, good question.
I know,
That's a fair question. I don't know.
I couldn't just take that time off for protesting
Every day, like,
Shifts, man. You do it in shifts.
Oh,
is that
So
what?
you-
It, well, the,
are you processing and then going and working for a few hours
Yeah.
and coming back to the protest?
Sure.
it's.
Okay.
I don't know why it seems weird. These organized protests, like protest, seems like
Should be kind of a groundswell.
yeah, like
and
you
it
go
just
out there
becomes a protest.
instead of getting a text like we're meeting here tonight, and there's some meeting place and they all okay, you go over here and protest, and then you people go on to Florissant and protest, these people go in front of the police station, and it's just like this, keeping this going. Meet you back here tomorrow. They're like hitting the time clock.
It's bizarre.
It's weird. I wonder if any of these people are paid to be out there. You see that stuff a
I
lot.
suspect they are.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Bust in and paid.
I don't know if you saw these pictures, but we've got, and I don't know if I have them here. Maybe Timco can pull them up. But of the cops who are standing out front of the police station, and there's, I don't know, 150 people. I think at the time of the shooting there were like 70. It was almost midnight when that happened, and someone just starts picking off cops from, they think, about 150 feet away.
Oh, okay. I heard
They were-
500 feet.
Yeah, they really don't know. It's scary, man. Up on the hill. At first, they were saying it was someone in the pack right there.
Mhm.
But hit this one cop in the face, under his eye, and it lodged in his ear. And the other cop was hitting the shoulder. But you see these pictures, and the guy's helmet covered in blood is laying on the ground. I mean, just nasty shit.
So both non-fatal.
Non-fatal. They've actually been released from the hospital.
Oh,
as a matter
wow.
of fact.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yep. Both of them have.
How fortunate is that? You get one to the face,
Yeah.
and it takes a right turn out to your ear.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That could have been, I mean, that's someone that's trying to be a cop killer.
Yeah.
You're trying to murder cops at that point.
The idea of snipers is so frightening too. After that DC sniper, was it 15 years ago? Or
Yeah,
so, those
yeah,
guys
yeah.
who ended
The
up
kid and his son.
Yeah, well, was it his son or
Yeah.
nephew or something? Okay,
Yep.
but they were bored out a hole in the back of the trunk of that car, right?
Yeah.
And everybody in the meantime is looking for a white box van.
Yeah.
Like, that'll
What
be
about
easy. Just white box fan. How many of those are there?
Uh-huh.
There was the one
But
on,
just picking people off, standing there pumping their
Pumping
gas. Just boom in the head, blow
Yeah.
them apart.
Ugh.
Incredible.
like, there was that one on 696 a few years ago too.
That's
wasn't there?
right.
2
The
years
dude
ago?
shooting at people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the idea of indiscriminate shooting in public.
Yeah.
What a terrifying thing.
And those snipers, I mean, did you guys, either of you see the American Sniper in the movie?
No.
Seeing those guys, I mean, hitting distances of a mile away.
Mhm.
I mean, imagine hitting your target in like a kill shot to the heart or the head from a mile.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Taking in like fractions of wind change, like playing that into your, you know, as you're doing it and dialing that. That's amazing.
Well, any
but-
good Joe Blow hunter could sit there from 150 yards and
Yeah.
pick something off in
Yeah.
the face if they wanted to.
Well, they said the way this went down, and I may have said most of it, but they've gotten a new police force out there. St. Louis proper is now handling the police. Didn't they do that in the beginning, by the way?
Yeah, I feel like they got involved.
They brought in the Missouri Staties,
Missouri.
state guys, and they brought in St. Louis. I thought, well, St. Louis is in charge of the Ferguson Police Department. This all started yesterday when the police chief, Tom Jackson, resigned, which happened at like 5 p.m. And
Got a year's severance.
Yep. And then at 8:00, St. Louis County Police Chief John Belmer said that he received a call from his chief of staff that warned him they should expect protesters to gather in the parking lot. I called my staff. I said, "Listen,
look."
He didn't use look. He just went straight with listen. You know, very to the point. He had shit to do. I want this like we always do this. I want this to be a very measured response from the police department. 15 minutes later, protesters started blocking South Florissant, where the police department is located. A code 1000 was called, which means the closest 25 units get to the police station now. And so they did that, and there were about 150 protesters at that point. And then the first protesters arrested. And then at 10 o'clock, over the course of the next hour, a number of protests in the area fluctuated, first with many leaving. But then by 10 o'clock, more arrived, prompting a second 1,000 call for another 25 units. So at one point, they've got about 70 officers, just under 70 officers there. A second arrest is made. A third and final arrest is made about 11:15. And then about midnight, they hear 4 gunshots, which immediately hit 2 officers standing next to each other. And the protesters gather, you know, they scram. And so now they're on this manhunt to find these assholes.
Aren't you surprised that it took this long, honestly, for some sort of attempt to assassinate a cop?
Yeah,
Ferguson?
well, in Ferguson specifically, yeah. And these weren't even Ferguson cops, like the ones you're all mad at. These were, you know, from 2 separate police stations who were here just to help this situation. So not that anyone would care or that they would know that, but they weren't
authority.
It's authority. Yeah, you're shooting the badge. It's just unbelievable. You know, these protests, as we were saying, have been going on so long. Like, what do you want them to? They've shit canned. You know, he could say he resigned, but he was forced out. Clearly, he's gone. You know, you've gotten the Department of Justice has released their information and basically threatened to close the entire police department. Like, what do you want them to do?
Yeah, what more?
The people with the emails that were involved, they're gone. Like, what is the
Didn't
protest?
a judge step down?
A judge, yeah, the main judge stepped down. Like, so what are we protesting now? That change is coming? Like, what are we still doing? Is this
That's
just
a great
fun?
question.
You know what I mean? Like, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, okay, great. You know, prove it in other ways. I don't know what you want them to do. Is it just that's like the new Taco Bell where we used to hang in high school? Is that what it is? Just go out on the streets and hang out? Because it doesn't seem very peaceful, and people are these organizers of the protests keep standing out there and they're giving interviews every 5 minutes talking about, oh yeah, you know, no, this doesn't change anything. You know, there are still racist police out there. We need to demonstrate.
That's what it is, I guess. It continues this ability to have a dialogue through the media.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, the media is right there as they're supposed to.
Just in case something happens, right?
Yep. Anderson Cooper reporting for duty. He's right there on the scene, interviewing people on the streets, and it's ridiculous, man. Yeah, they've gotten to the point where Don Lemon, our boy Don Lemon, had a Klansman on yesterday.
You love Don Lemon.
No, I don't love Don Lemon.
Huge Don Lemon fan.
Actually, you know what? He's one of those guys that I can't stand so much that I like actually watching him because it's so irritating to me. It's that philosophy. Right. It's like, I got to keep an eye on this one. But yeah, he's got a Klansman on the show and his stupid little hat and his stupid symbol behind his head. And he's on Skype. Klansman on Skype.
Oh, jeez.
That's so weird.
Looks like a skit or something when you set him out there. Like, wow, you look ridiculous.
Like, oh, excuse me, Lord Dragon.
Hey, what's better than a Zot read after a Klansman story?
Yeah,
absolutely. As you've heard before, Zot Ford needs more pre-owned inventory. So now is the time to trade in that dumpy-ass used car you're driving and get yourself into a brand new shiny Ford. Zot Ford has one of the largest selections of new cars, trucks, and SUVs in the area with over 400 new Fords to choose from. And here's the best news. Zot Ford will pay you 15% over Kelley Blue Book for your trade-in now through the end of the month. Check out their deals and massive inventory at zotford.com.
You a big Univision watcher?
Univision. Some good football from time to time.
Do they? Yeah, I could see that. E, do you a big supporter of Univision?
I think there's some stuff. I think there is some stuff on it that I watch. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, right.
I don't even know what channel that.
Yeah,
I don't have cable, so I don't know.
Yeah, there totally is. You know why? Because they play. God, there's stuff that. Yeah, there is absolute stuff that they play on there that I watch.
Sábado Jugante.
I'm trying to think of the stuff that I've watched in there before, but they play some off-brand.
Do they play some American TV shows that aren't in Spanish? Because I was watching over at Beth's the other day. I was watching Dexter, of all things.
In Spanish?
Well, all the commercials were in Spanish, and everything else was in Spanish, but the show was still in English.
Huh.
And they didn't.
Yeah, that's funny. You're right.
Subtitle it?
They didn't even subtitle it. Yeah, it was weird.
That is weird.
So I was watching like a half hour of that the other day before at night, and I was like, this is weird. Maybe that was Univision. I'm not even sure. But anyway, we got a talk show host who's been fired. Thank God. Got him off the air. He's been fired after he compared the First Lady to a character from Planet of the Apes on live television.
What a dumbass.
That sounds awful, right?
So he's fired for being dumb.
Well, sort of. But this story's a little more intriguing than just that. And I don't want to get into the whole argument about free speech or anything like that. Don't worry. But his name's...
Don't worry.
Well, it's just funny because... this is my fear of where this stuff goes. This is kind of my big complaint is the uproar of things and then leading, but it's not, I don't see it as real racism in a sense. And I'll explain why in a minute. His name's Rodner Figueroa. He made the racially insensitive remark on the entertainment news show El Gordo y la Flaca. Big watchers.
Oh yeah.
Are we?
Hell yeah.
He made it he was discussing the work of a makeup artist. And this guy posts himself in pictures, this makeup artist, and he transforms with makeup his face to look like different celebrities.
Oh, okay.
So in this one, he transforms himself to look like Michelle Obama.
Gotcha.
Right. And I'll show you a picture
so it's
of her.
A bad Michelle Obama, this guy's point is. It looks more like something out of the Planet of the Apes.
Thank you.
Huh.
So all of a sudden, it doesn't sound quite so horribly racist when it's like, dude, that doesn't really look like Michelle Obama. You look more like a character out of Planet of the Apes. And there's the guy, and there's the transformation pictures of him looking like, it's pretty amazing what he's doing with makeup, as a matter of fact.
But that's a dude.
So
if it doesn't look that bad to me.
He actually looks better than Michelle Obama.
I know.
I mean, prettier.
She looks to me like a character out of... Never mind. I'm not going to get in trouble.
He, with the makeup on, looks prettier than her, in my opinion.
He does. Yeah, absolutely does.
Yeah.
The co-host attempted to counter the offensive remark by saying that he thought Obama was very attractive, but the show was airing live on the East Coast. On the West Coast, they were able to take it out, and panic mode goes in. They immediately fire him. Throw his career away. Fire him. They said yesterday during the entertainment show, Rodner made comments about the First Lady, Michelle Obama, that were completely reprehensible and in no way reflect the values or opinions of Univision. As a result, Mr. Figueroa was fired immediately. Get him out of the building.
God, you know, I know it seems like sometimes I'm on different sides of this fence, but on this one, I'm totally on Mike's side.
Reprehensible. Reprehensible.
How would...
It seems a bit much. So
I don't
anyway,
know, I feel weird because I know I'm arguing on both sides with Jay and Mike on this sometimes.
well, this is just my
wrinkle to this.
fear. There's a wrinkle to this, but nobody wants to hear or care. They don't care. We see it every day in different stories. The facts don't matter. How many times do we see that? No matter if someone shot somewhere and it's like, hey, get the protest going. It's like, well, you don't even know what the story is yet. But we're so quick to pull the trigger and blow people up for it. This guy's been with this company 17 years.
Wow. Do you think this is amplified by the fact that she is the first lady of the United States?
Well, it's interesting you say that because apparently the office of the first lady sent a thing saying that was inappropriate. And that's when they immediately...
Hey, who the fuck does she...
Dude, I know.
Why is she rabbit ears watching this little fucking thing
with
on...
all the shit that people do. I mean, if you're going to be president of the United States, you better be able to...
Talk about a public figure.
Oh, my God. They get hammered for everything. Remember Bush, when Bush was in office, and people would post pictures of him with monkey ear, like his ears, and
how come that's
compare him to monkeys and shit. They did that all the time.
Yeah.
So someone makes a comment clearly about this guy in his makeup, not about the first lady. You know, he's just applying makeup to make him look like the first lady. And the guy says, yeah, you look more like Planet of the Apes than you do the first lady, in my opinion, God forbid. So anyway, this is his apology. He actually makes an apology. Well,
no, not deep. Well,
I
don't buy it then.
I offer my sincerest apology.
Could be better.
Could be deep.
Yeah, we could use deep.
I don't know what you're apologizing for because
he doesn't either.
He doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
Doing what he has to do.
I offer my sincerest apologies for a comment that I made about the characterization from a makeup artist that I made about you in the Univision Entertainment Program, and he names the program. So he's writing this essentially to Michelle Obama, who had a problem with this.
Right.
So I want to make it clear that I'm not a racist, and it was directed. And it was directed personally to you, but the characterization of not directed to you, but to the characterization of the artist that left a lot to be desired. The clip in full context is proof. I feel embarrassed. I ask forgiveness because there's no excuse for a professional like me to make those types of comments that can be interpreted as offensive.
That's fucking Christ, man.
And racist in a volatile moment like we live in our country.
Because In one sentence, he says that if you really look at this in context,
you had it right.
And then the next sentence is, "But I'm sorry that."
I was about to say, I agree with this guy. And then
what is the next sentence? How does he word it right after that? Where he says,
he said something that could be interpreted to be offensive and racial, right?
I feel embarrassed. I ask forgiveness.
That's
There's
the
no
part right there.
excuse for a professional like me to make those types of comics that can be interpreted as offensive and racist in a volatile moment that we live in our country.
So he says that if you really look at this and look in context, he says, if you really look at this, I didn't do anything wrong. But then he's embarrassed. How?
Because it could be interpreted that way, E, and that's the key.
Exactly,
E. Thank you. He saw the point.
You made it.
He made it. He's with us.
I knew it. I knew it.
Nice of you to join us, sir.
I take responsibility for this lack of judgment on my part, but I can't accept that I'm being called a racist and being fired for that reason and being humiliated by Univision after working there for 17 years. I come from a biracial Latin family with family members like my father, who is half black and half
Did he vote for Obama?
I'm the first, I'll get to that. I'm the first presenter on Hispanic TV that is openly gay, and I'm an activist for causes that favor minorities.
Jesus Christ.
You couldn't get more liberal.
You couldn't. That have been discriminated against just like me. I openly voted twice for your husband, Barack Obama, because I consider him a great man that respects minorities like me in this country. Although my comment was unpleasant and out of line, I do not deserve being called a racist, and I have to defend myself for respect and for the love of my family, my father, my fans, my community.
Her office should apologize to this guy.
I agree.
Her office should come back and say, you know what? We understand what you're saying. We heard it in context, and you're right.
They won't. It's not going to happen.
Probably not.
Should.
He says, I was notified verbally that due to a complaint from your office, I was fired, an information leak from Univision executives. I was condemned in social media, trying to destroy my career in an unfair manner without letting me know personally and without an investigation that would allow me to clear up the situation. Again, I offer my humble forgiveness for this misinterpretation, and I assume the responsibility.
Dude, he did everything right in saying that.
Yeah.
And they absolutely owe him an apology. That's bullshit.
I think
man.
that's total bullshit, too.
He is commenting on what this makeup artist looks like. It's an entertainment show. He's not saying Michelle Obama looks like a monkey.
Yeah.
He's saying this guy's makeup looks shitty. You don't look like Michelle Obama. You look like
Planet of the Apes. Yeah. That's what his point was.
Minute freaking thing.
I know.
The monkey.
It's crazy.
It's brutal,
and
man.
You're right. Just sit there
and to see it happening to minorities.
They took down one of their own, man.
Exactly. I almost think that's a good thing. If it's gonna be like this, then make everybody accountable for the same horse shit that you're holding all these people to. But if you're gonna do that, then take the gay, half black Latino guy, openly gay, who's been with you for 17 years, and throw him under the bus too.
And then maybe that guy and people who like him start to look at this issue differently and go, "Come on, let's look at things in context. Let's not be so ultra sensitive. Look what happened to me."
Intent does mean something. Like, to brand someone a racist without the intent to do harm to them because of race is an issue.
That's a really brutal accusation.
Oh my God,
brutal!
Dude.
It's life-changing,
but
life-altering.
I think it's being watered down. That's my point the other day. I think you're losing steam with the racist tag. It's not a death sentence anymore because it's being slung at everybody. Everybody. That used to be the worst thing you could be called. You could be called anything in the book. You did not want to be tagged with the racist label. That would haunt you. But now it's like, okay, well.
You're right. This is a good thing that this guy has the background.
This is great news.
This is great news out of Univision, wherever you are.
Division, yeah, somewhere.
Seriously, man, to take down one of their own like that, he's going to have a much different view of all this shit.
Yeah.
Why?
See how easy it is to get caught up in it.
Why is the first lady, for one, we've talked about it here before.
It's not her personally, it's her office watching shit like that.
I get it, but I'm saying, I know we talked about what do they even have really. They're not really a public figure. Yeah. So why is, like, you're right, I get that it's maybe not her, but within an instant, her freaking people are emailing here, and you know that email must have said get him off the fucking air if it got leaked, and it wasn't,
probably didn't even say get him off the air. It probably just said we're disappointed in something, and so they felt like, oh my God, it's got the letterhead of the First Lady of the United States on it.
Yeah,
I almost don't blame them for the reaction, but to me that's
the appointed official.
Such bullshit that with, especially right now with everything going on in the world, President Obama, Eric Holder, Michelle Obama, now these people are not going out of their way to help calm the situation.
Yeah.
When you keep stoking these fires, what happens? You get cops shot in the fucking face.
That's a real abuse of that power.
It's a total abuse.
Lash out like that without looking at it. And if you did look at it, you're a complete idiot to not see the context there.
Yeah.
And still be that pissed about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that offensive. Man,
it's embarrassing.
Well, not look into who the guy is. I mean, you got a guy who's sitting here openly gay, openly voted for your husband, openly supporting several,
Latino guy with a half black and half Latino father. I mean, really, that guy? That's the one you're going to target in this,
right? As if he's going to get out there and start spouting off some.
I mean, the first openly gay host in a show on like that. I mean,
17 years with the company.
One of your own. You said it. Now you're taking down one of your own. Really? All right. Well, this probably won't get us in trouble. Dwarfs.
All right, a dwarf story.
Is dwarf a word we're allowed to use?
I know.
Is we okay?
I think we better go with we.
We?
Yeah, we're not sure where dwarf stands at this point.
What if it's
we know how high dwarf stands, but we're just not sure. What?
It says
smuggling dwarf. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is midget off the table?
I think it might be, but we could say fidget.
Little person.
Fucking midget. Little person. Is that a twist on that?
Little person.
I'm not saying little person.
How about little wee guy? Ooh, the little wee guy, little like cutie pie.
How about cheeks?
How about the little cutie pie?
That seems a little demeaning.
Well, police are investigating an alleged plot to smuggle a thieving dwarf,
a little
unquote,
thieving cutie pie,
out of the UK as plane luggage.
What?
Yes. This Romanian dude, Bob,
Put him in luggage.
They were going to put him in luggage and ship him out of the country. How awesome would it be to be able to fit in a piece of luggage and be shipped out anywhere?
Yeah.
You're going for $25 on someone else's tab. Check your bag and off you go.
That's great.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be that fun. Going down that conveyor belt and having them chuck you into the fucking back end.
It's better than paying $1,000 for a flight to Romania.
Yeah, it'd be a little cold back there, but
Don't they say-
bundle up.
You and the dogs hanging out together.
Dude, that's the other thing. I know you're being a little facetious here.
No, we're not.
But no, you're right though, dude. Because remember that kid that got stuck in the wheel well that went over to?
Yes, he was flying from Hawaii to the
And
mainland.
they said they were shocked he even survived
Yep.
because of how cold. Now I don't know where the bags. I don't know if the wheel well and the bags were probably.
Oh, they're right there.
Yeah. Well, this Romanian dude sends a Facebook message to people asking them for help to smuggle the man known only as the midget. That's what he goes by, the midget. Out of the country.
He's like a badass mobster. It's just the midget.
Little guy.
The midget says to get him out.
Look at the little poos. Look at the poos.
The little cutie pie wants out.
So he's writing in this closed group. It's not a public one. It's private for Romanians living in the UK. He posts, good evening. I've got a midget friend, 38 inches tall. That's how he starts it. He's done a lot of stupid stuff here. He broke into a gas station.
What a badass.
In little baby Gap clothing.
Put him up. Put him up.
Oh, shit.
He also broke into some houses, 3 or 4 of them.
Dude, imagine waking up to that, right?
Yeah.
You hear a broken, breaking glass or a door askew or something, and you go out and you're aiming about chest high to a normal human being, right?
And there's a wee guy just tuckered out on your couch.
Little wee guys start kicking in the ankles. Like, what the fuck is that?
Doing that little bow-legged run out the door. So and he's done some cards, whatever that is. I don't know. Is that stealing credit cards?
Probably,
Maybe?
yeah.
But I won't go into details. He says.
Oh, really? You just described like 4 different.
He's a wanted man there. They've been looking for him. They'll never find him.
No,
he can hide anywhere
under a mushroom.
They want him, and they're looking for him, and he wants to go back to Romania. He knows I'm leaving on the 11th of March, so he suggests that I put him in my luggage. He'll give me some money for my ticket and extra for the luggage, which is normal, I think. There's no holes in this plan.
What's this guy asking for? He's just writing this to tell somebody?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, he's asking for advice.
For somebody on the other side to pick up the midget?
No, he just wants advice.
He wants to know, he's got a fucking 38-incher staring at him in the kneecaps, just going, throw me in your luggage. Throw me in your luggage. I'm a wanted man. This
guy wants to run it by his buddies. Will this work?
Throwing it out like, could I be in trouble for this? Could I be in trouble? And people on Facebook were like, are you fucking retarded? You cannot smuggle a midget into your luggage, asshole. They just hammered him. And the cops are aware of it.
The chorus, does he
Buckingham
realize?
Palace is aware of it. They're all aware of it on the lookout for a midget being stored in
putting
luggage.
out a feeler, what do you guys think about this? I don't know,
Maybe you should
trying to give himself culpable deniability. I don't know what he by broadcasting it though on social media.
Usually people, the typical Facebook post is, oh damn, my water heater went this morning. Anybody know a good plumber? This guy, damn, I got a midget friend. He needs out.
Yeah.
Should I do this?
By the way, he's wanted for 10 felonies.
Dude,
Shit.
why don't you at least go to maybe Yahoo Answers or something? Why are you putting this?
Somebody's gonna
Ask
give a
Siri.
shitty.
No, but I'm saying you don't put it on Facebook where you're telling people. You got to go another
If
route.
I had a fidget friend,
Well, no, you gotta ask maybe could
can a human survive in luggage in a cargo hold?
something like that.
If
Let's
he's really
ask
small.
Siri. Should we ask Siri?
Yeah.
What's the question we're going to pose to her?
Can a midget survive and carry on luggage? Or not
I
carry
would just say a
on,
person.
checked luggage.
Don't say midget. I would say a person.
No, I think
I think it's
fidget,
important to the story.
Okay.
Yeah. Can a fidget survive in checked baggage?
Well, I think he can survive, but can you?
Well, let's hear what she says about that first.
Okay. So what are we asking?
Gonna have
You
to
want
be
to
more
ask the question?
specific, I think.
Can a fidget survive in checked luggage?
Siri's not going to know that. You're going to have to ask a more specific.
How do you know Siri won't
Fine.
know that?
Okay, fine.
You're probably right. She always sends me a bunch of links to shit and makes me work. Fuck, I thought she knew everything.
She's gonna send us to Facebook. Ask your friends on Facebook.
You want to pose the question to Siri?
No, you got it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you can. What was the question again?
Can a midget survive in checked luggage?
That's right. Hold on.
Make it simple for her.
Can a midget survive in checked luggage?
Here's what I found on the web for can a midget survive in checked luggage.
What do we got?
10 things you should never pack in your check bag.
No.
I swear to God.
Including
No.
a fidget, a wee person, a little cutie
A
pie.
human being.
Is fidget one of them?
No, it just says 10 things you should never pack in your check
Okay, he's not one of them. Boom, he's in.
Just
Can I
ask if a human could survive.
We asked if a fidget
Okay,
could.
fine.
They're technically human.
Yeah, but Siri's not gonna.
I know it's
I don't
like a
know,
sub
Yeah.
sort of
Not gonna-
human race, but
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know if that counts. So is that a technicality we're getting tripped up on? The whole human thing?
no, we asked midget, right?
Yeah.
And she gave us a list of everything that you shouldn't check, and midget wasn't included. We're checking this son of a bitch.
Will I get in trouble with the law if I check my midget friend in luggage for a flight?
It's gonna be too long.
She's not gonna understand that. Artificial intelligence
Okay,
is
I found this on the web for will I get when I get in trouble with the Lord if I check my midget
The
friend in
Lord?
luggage for a
Sound
flight
like
to
the
Rome.
Lord.
Shut up. Oh, I found this on the web. Will I get when I get in trouble with the law if I check my midget friend in luggage for a flight to lawn?
not too soon to lawn.
Yeah.
Hmm.
People are saying they got their luggage very fast, no trouble.
Perfect.
So it sounds like, yeah.
This sounds like it's a go. Let's find a midget. Let's do this.
Could we do this? Can we rent a midget for a day?
Probably.
What do those go for?
I don't know. We could reroute some Kickstarter funds though.
Absolutely.
We could get a midget and just send him across country, send him back, see what happens.
And if anything happens to him, are we culpable?
You could have him. I could chuck him when I go to Vegas.
Let's send you with a
Take that little buddy with you to the podcast awards.
Yeah.
He could go accept the award with you.
That'd be-
Would it-
I
He
would
could
have
help you make
accepted.
a stink if you lose.
What
Yeah.
if we got ourselves a dead midget? Would that
Whoa.
like I mean just so that it's not like live carry on. I think you could get in trouble if you had live carry
But
on.
then
But
how
if
do
you
we
had a
test
dead
if the
midget?
midget lives though? That's the whole thing.
The whole
You
yeah. The
gotta
whole
see if you live.
question is
See, I think we're on two different pages. I just wanted to see if you
If you
could
can check it, get away
successfully
with it.
do it, check it.
No, I want
have
to
it
see
go
if you
through
can
screening.
check one and have it live. I'm
Yeah.
not convinced you could, but maybe.
It's a risk you're willing to take.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Well, we'll hang tight with this one. I mean,
This
it
could,
sounds like we've got some work to do.
says potential for Vegas. We've got what, a month to
Yeah,
decide
a
this.
month.
So
Any interested midgets, please feel free to send us
email
an email.
email at detroitcast.com
he never mentions the email until
Or give
or
us a
Jay
call.
at detroitcast.com.
Jay at DetroitCast or 844-385-3223. That's 844-FUKFASE.
Yeah, for an adventure-seeking midget.
Why don't you put one
The
in the
Detroit
Craigslist?
Cast seeks an adventure-seeking midget.
Adventurous midget.
Make
With a
a
sense
cra-
of humor.
Like a Craigslist ad.
Sense of humor. You need a sense of humor.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, you got to be able to laugh at yourself a little bit. Preferably
And the-
38 inches.
and
too.
the,
Yeah. We don't want to get some like borderline normal human midget.
Yeah.
They should be willing to maybe go to
You've
jail.
got to be able to be stuffed into a bag for a 3-hour flight.
be willing to be arrested.
That's non-negotiable. It's
Absolutely. That's the experiment.
Yeah.
That's
So-
Do not think for a second you're going to get there, realize you're too big, and then you're going to waltz onto the plane with
No.
Eve.
No.
I mean,
No, I'm not
we're not
sitting next to-
sitting. He's not going to sit on E's lap for a flight. Forget it.
not happening.
Yeah, you're going in luggage.
I guess maybe at that point I can overhead. I suppose, but
Does overhead count?
No, fuck no.
Yeah,
He's got to be
okay.
down with
All
the
right,
cargo.
okay,
That's the
okay.
whole thing. I want to see if he survives.
Okay. All right. Oh my God. All right. Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing many Barbie dolls around my house when I was a kid. Like my sister,
Kristen wasn't into that.
I don't think so. No. I mean, she had two older brothers, so she was
Mhm.
throwing baseballs. And
my
footballs
sister
and
was
shit.
pretty into them.
Was she?
Yeah.
Well, they've got a new one coming out. Hello Barbie. And they say that the most request. What do you think the most requested thing they get from little girls when talking about Barbie is?
Want to look like her?
Well, yeah, or what would you think? They want realistic body parts. They want this or that. What would a
The
5-year-old
hip
say?
to waist ratio?
Yeah, that's what kids are worried about. Is the
I don't
hip
know,
to-
dude.
No, they
face?
want to talk
10?
to them.
Oh, they want to talk. Gotcha. Right.
They want to talk to their Barbie doll.
Yeah, that's a little hard.
They want to have a conversation. Now, for the first time ever, Barbie can have a two-way conversation, says a spokeswoman for Mattel.
She's always just been a good listener.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you want your kid talking to a doll and having the doll talk back to
No,
her?
not necessarily.
I wouldn't think so.
What are they gonna,
So your kid will be into this like creepy, weird talking thing with Barbie. It's a Barbie voice data that has been collected and customized through previously recorded chats. Hello Barbie will talk to you through your secrets and stuff, and start talking back based on what you've said.
Well,
So-
it tries to jimmy it into something similar to what you're asking, kind of thing.
No, way
Really?
worse. Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi connected doll.
Got someone back in California like monitoring all this shit.
It uses an embedded microphone to record children's voices. Conversations are then transmitted over the internet to cloud servers.
Oh,
No shit.
No way.
Yeah, dude, this
No.
is so bad. Mattel says that they've got a tech partner, Toy Talk, which processes the audio for video or voice recognition software. Mattel says it will use this information to push data back to children through Barbie's built-in speaker.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna be like, "Go kill your mom.
Yeah.
Go kill your
well,
mom."
I was gonna say it's gonna be more like
smoke
go.
one cigarette.
Oh,
I've always wanted to smoke a cigarette.
Yep.
I thought it was gonna be more. I thought you'd say more things like buying products, like go buy me a
That's
house.
realistically,
Dude,
that's probably
It's
where
exactly
it'll go.
where it's going because it's going to get data about what the kids' interests
And
are.
target you with advertising.
How much
Exactly.
Butterbill goes far to know how much the income of the family is.
asking the kid.
You're like,
What
below
kind of car do you
13
have?
grand, all of a sudden Barbie
Yeah.
stops talking completely.
Right.
She's out.
What kind of car does your mommy drive?
It's a 86 Toyota.
Bye bye.
She drives the Lexus. Oh. All of a sudden Barbie's
Tell me
fully
more.
attentive. So the Toy Talk's current privacy policy states, we may use, store, process, and transcribe recordings in order to provide and maintain the service, to perform, test, or improve speech recognition technology and artificial intelligence
Pretty broad.
algorithms, or for other research and development and
Oh.
data analysis purpose.
Oh,
There you go.
really?
Or
Oh,
for
really?
Or for other.
Yeah.
That's
Who
a
is-
problem. Mattel claims the toy will deepen that relationship girls have with Barbie.
Oh my God.
Over time, the toy conglomerate's goal is to have the child and Barbie become best friends.
Yeah, I bet
Man,
it
that's
is.
weird, dude.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah, keep that shit away from your kids.
Yeah. I
Who
don't,
would think this? Who would think this would be okay to have some device in your house? I know
Unknowing parents who just aren't plugged in.
you're right.
Right.
Because you see that and your kid goes, "Oh my God, I want the Hello Talking Barbie
Oh, okay.
you're
whatever,
like-
whatever you want, pumpkin.
for
what-
Christmas." And
Daddy will
that's-
get you that pumpkin.
and you're not doing any readings on it. It's like, oh, you got to Wi-Fi charge it because it talks back to
Yeah.
you. You're thinking it's a chip in the Barbie's head that's just more advanced and has more phrases. You know, you remember back to your childhood when you pulled a string.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're thinking this is just an advanced version of that, not thinking it's going to a cloud server being analyzed by a third party and then targeted having conversations with your kid.
Wow, man.
Who's running the conversation? Is it
Some
the kid
for-
or is it the doll? I'd be worried that it's the doll. As soon as you engage with it, all of a sudden the
dude.
doll could
and
could literally say, it's kind of like that baby monitor thing where
Yes.
people were breaking into it and going, shut up, baby! Shut up! Stop crying, baby!
Yelling
Wake up,
at
baby!
the baby.
Screaming
Yeah,
at the baby.
dude. Creepy.
Which
And
is fun as shit, by the way, the thought of that.
Well, and when you say who's running the conversation, the doll or the kid, if it's the doll, you know who's going to be running that? Some 40-year-old white dude in the
Yeah.
fucking California?
yeah.
Thanks for joining us, E. Glad you're up to speed.
Ah, I don't know.
So they-
you know what? You didn't fucking.
Dude, that's what we've kind of been saying without saying it for the last 5 minutes,
Yeah,
you
well,
son
I'm
of a
stupid,
bitch.
so you gotta fucking be more.
Ugh.
I'm the average listener, Jay. You gotta be more dumb it down a
You
little
are
bit.
not the average listener. I
You're not
see
the-
comments from the average listener, and they are all perplexed by you and what you are.
I'm
You're not the average anything.
I'm the common man.
the common man.
Perplexed and entertained, I'll say. For sure.
The Hello Barbie was unveiled at the Toy Fair 2015 last month in New York City. Mattel plans to release the doll with a price tag of, any guesses?
$125.
Nope, $75.
I was gonna. Damn it, why
Surprise!
didn't you give me time?
Why
I
didn't
was
you
gonna
say it then? You
I was
son.
gonna-
Oh,
shut
straight
up.
out of Stockton.
I was gonna say $75.
Were you?
Why didn't you fucking?
It's amazing all the shit he's about to say, but doesn't.
I was.
I know.
gonna-
Isn't it?
I posed a question. I got an answer,
I was
and then I
gonna say
revealed the
$75.
answer.
You sat
I was gonna say $75.
mulling something over,
dude.
muttering something.
He's the guy that would be on Jeopardy going, I knew that! I
Yeah.
knew that after Ken Jennings already fucking tagged in 30
The guy
seconds
was sitting
earlier.
there beeping thing. This thing doesn't work.
Why doesn't my buzzer work?
I swear.
Lift it up so everybody can see that you
I was
you
gonna,
knew.
I was
Damn,
gonna say $75.
this thing just doesn't work.
Were you going to say, what is $75?
No.
Yeah, you would have been wrong then.
Anyway,
It's not Jeopardy.
there are already petitions going around to, like, kill this doll.
That's awesome. Just think of all the research and development that went into that.
Yeah.
Mattel is going, damn it! Why did this get out? In this manner.
Well, it's probably a thing where there's only a handful of people potentially that would hear about this sort of thing, and there's a ton of the population that will just see that in the store.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, honestly,
the
are
newest
you really
Barbie show.
the newest one? Exactly. Parents would do that. Kids, oh my God, I want this one. I want this one. They don't shut up about it for 3 months.
That's
Ugh.
honestly scary, man.
Isn't it?
Just how it could shape the conversation.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Well, this idea of these TVs with microphones in them and
Yes,
cameras
that too.
is fucking insane scary. It is. Like, Crazy Carl used to warn us about that. He remember the duct tape over his camera and stuff? We'd be laughing
The
at him.
webcam. Yep.
And he's like, dude, you have no idea what's on the other side of that camera. They're collecting information for something.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just collecting it to collect it. They're collecting it to target you specifically. And was it the Samsung TV that had that
I'm
bullshit apples going through it? I think
I don't
it
have
was
cable, so I'm kind of out of the loop with
Right.
TVs and shit.
yeah.
But I saw a lot of chirping about that about a month ago.
Yeah. I want to say it was one of the new Samsungs that is collecting data, like, in your room. If that TV's on there, like, oh, you can disengage it in the manual. Like, anybody does that.
Yeah.
Goes through their settings. It's automatically on, and it's just collecting conversations in your living room.
Damn.
So if
dude.
you and your wife are having a conversation, it's listening to you and keeping track of that shit. I mean,
But it's
dude,
for your convenience, Mike. It's
Oh,
so that they can target you specifically and give you what you need.
it's so that you can use voice recognition stuff. So, like, turn on the Atari, turn on the PlayStation 4,
Mm-hmm.
and it will automatically do that. But it needs more information about how you speak specifically, so we know exactly what you're asking us to do.
Wow.
As if,
Your TV
yeah,
Hmm.
doesn't that sound great?
does.
Why don't we take a quick timeout, and we'll come back and we'll tell you about the banana spider. Holy shit!
It's not good, people.
It does
it's not
wheelies.
good.
The spider does wheelies
Ugh.
when he gets pissed.
Ugh.
Hind legs, and he's ready to swing.
I heard there's an interesting symptom though that can come about from the bite of the banana spider.
There is.
Hmm.
She's known as the murderous spider.
Yeah.
That's her name, and
There's kind of two alternatives
Yeah.
that are interesting, different sides of the spectrum. So
Could
we'll
go-
find out what those
could
are.
go really poorly, or it could go kind of sweet in a weird way. We'll explain next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, Detroit Cast listeners. It's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. We keep things simple, like 1, 2, 3. So for a limited time, you can 1, lease a 2014 Ford Focus for just $123 a month. 2, lease a 2015 Ford Fusion for just $123 a month. Or 3, lease a 2015 Ford Escape for just $123 a month. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or should I say $123 per month when you lease a Focus, Fusion, or Escape from your friends at Zott Ford. Check out our massive inventory at zottford.com. SZOTT.
Detroitcast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroitcast on a Friday with Mike and Jay. Finally, the weekend is upon us.
Thank God.
Yeah,
One of those
ready
weeks.
for it. Yeah, definitely, man. We've strung together a few of those. One of those weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, lot to get to yet, including that fight at McDonald's. Wow, brutal. I know you haven't seen it yet, but
Jits going ham.
Jit's going ham for sure. For sure. We mentioned the banana, and we've got a mother who's revealed her story with this Brazilian death spider. This would scare me straight away from bananas. I'm serious, man. Talking about Maria Layton. She was giving her 6-year-old daughter a banana when she saw a Brazilian wandering spider cocoon on the fruit, which her husband had earlier bought from this place called Tesco, which is a grocery store. And the spiders, whose Greek name means murderous,
Oh, shit.
yeah, are aggressive and have the most toxic venom in the world, and their bite causes serious injury, even death, as well as painful 4-hour erections.
Oh.
Whoa, what's wrong with that?
If you could eliminate the painful part,
How can you?
it'd be
What's a
pretty
painful erection as opposed to a regular erection?
Oh, no.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, what would be a
Get
painful?
swolled up.
Throbbing.
You could. Could you
throb to it that's uncomfortable.
Could you offset that by putting it in something that wouldn't make it painful?
Maybe moving it about.
No, but obviously the pills you've heard of, like having a 4-hour erection.
Yeah, but they say
but I've
immediately call your
I've never-
physician.
But I've never heard of a painful.
Or more ladies, as the
Erection.
ladies' man says.
Yeah, or more ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you fire one off and then make that thing settle down a little bit, or is it going to just keep going for 4 hours?
I feel like somebody told us a story not too long ago about trying to fire. Was it Yui? Had some kind of.
I never took any pills or anything, so I
Is that
don't
a
know.
listener who emailed us about some sort of injury to their dick or something, and they tried to just peel one off, make it feel better? I don't.
And it was
shoot,
worse. Yeah,
You guys
dude,
aren't-
you're right. Yeah, no.
This isn't ringing a bell.
Yeah.
It is ringing a bell.
What was his surgery? Was it the guy that had the vasectomy?
Maybe.
And he was worried about it because the first one out of the cannon was wasn't looking so good. It was kind of
I hate to bring
red.
it up and just have sketchy recollections. So
No, I totally remember that email. I think you're right. It was an email. Anyway, this daughter, whose name's Siri.
Ugh.
You wanna name
would
your
you-
kid
Jeez,
Siri?
Louise.
Is that a new thing? Is
They
that
jumped on the Tom Cruise thing, probably.
Oh, Siri
Right?
Cruise.
Could you imagine?
Well,
having,
this kid's 6 years old. Siri Cruise is older than 6 now, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right.
Could you imagine now with having that name with the
I
freaking
was a
Siri?
damn phone.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't
Probably thought
everybody
it was
just
so cool and cutting edge. Oh my God, Tom Cruise named his daughter that. That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that too. And then the damn Apple phone comes out with that lady that talks and
annoying
it's Siri.
Wouldn't
idiot
ev-
on
right.
Siri.
Wouldn't everybody make jokes about that? Like, hey Siri.
Yeah, let me ask you something.
Right.
Just go up and
I have
push
a
her belly
feeling
button.
Siri on the phone will go by the wayside pretty soon and be replaced by something else.
Yeah, you think so?
but
So
for now,
I don't think Siri will be synonymous with the phone forevermore.
Maybe. But they said that this spider's nest could have contained hundreds of little guys, and they say it may have been gotten there via its travel from Costa Rica. Siri had asked for a banana. The first banana had a funny spot on it, so I got another one for her, and that was when I found this massive spider cocoon.
oh,
There was a spider web on one of the other bananas too.
oh,
So I Googled it, simple Google search.
Yeah.
I went through the images, and there was an image that looked very similar to mine. The spider cocoon started to unfurl, so I put it in a sealed box and put it in the freezer, as I read that was supposed to kill them. I'm glad it was me rather than Siri that opened the bananas. I think spiders are more likely to bite small children rather than older people.
that's retarded. But
That's completely retarded.
dude, God
Just
damn
lost
it!
some
Let me
credibility
think.
in my
Oh
book.
God, Jay,
Is that
why,
one of them, Tim
Why
Cole?
is she even bothering I put it in the freezer because I heard that kills them. Just chuck that shit outside. Like you're gonna really gonna save bananas are what 89 cents a pound or something. You're gonna really save.
Sounds a bit litigious to me. Sounds like there's something being planned here. Like, ooh, I don't know what this is. I might save it and see if we could get some damages out of this.
Really?
Look at that son of a bitch.
Oh, duh, because she wants.
Yeah, litigious means wants to sue.
Yeah, I know what that means. Asshole. So Chiquita.
Thanks for joining us, you son of a bitch.
She's gonna go after Chiquita.
Yeah, or the Techco people.
Tesco. The Brazilian wandering spider, it's also known, they're mainly active during the night. They walk across the jungle floor, but during the day they hide inside banana plants, hence the nickname banana spider.
Dude.
Gross!
And they don't spin webs; they just wander around.
Yes,
so
yes,
you can't be
exactly.
like, oh, that's where they
I
are.
don't
There's
want
their
bananas
web.
at all anymore.
They don't explain though this whole deal with their bite being extremely venomous,
Either death or big boner.
massive hard-ons. Like where? Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gamut.
I posted the picture on Tesco's Facebook page, and they told me to send the wrapper in so they could get the barcode to refund me.
Like I said, with the 89 cents.
She's like, I was shocked. They failed to see the potential threat to me and my family and thought I was only interested in having $1 back.
Well, what is she supposed to get? Nothing happened.
That's a great point, E. I like that line of thinking.
Hmm?
She wasn't damaged in any way.
What emotional damage? Nothing happened.
You know what you do if you're the company or the store? You go, hey, come on in. I'll give you a $25 gift certificate.
Right.
They said that the fact that they're nocturnal is why they're so dangerous, because they hide in houses, cars, which they are easily disturbed by humans.
Oh, those little sons of bitches.
Oh, they're brutal. Their leg span reaches up to 5 inches. When the spiders are defending themselves, they lift their body up like a wheelie, and then they get on their hind legs in a defensive display. So they stand up like, bring it, motherfucker, bring it! Bring it! You want some of this? You want some of this?
Oh my God. What an awful creature. And dude, the idea of hundreds
Look
of
at
them.
him! Look at him!
Oh, look
Bring
at
it
him.
on!
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
That's an offensive position for sure. Dude, the idea of all those fuckers crawling out of a cocoon, too. You know, the idea of a cocoon holding all these things really bothers me. That's the thing that bothers me about those tent worms, too, that we're going to see this summer, hanging from trees.
Yeah.
Those damn things. You bust through those and just thousands of them everywhere.
Yeah. Ugh.
And they're harmless little worms.
Look at
but
'em.
Just the idea of them all being packed in there. And then,
Yeah, it's so weird. Look at that. He looks like he's doing the hands up. All right, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot.
Arachnid lives matter.
What are they doing in there, Jay? They're just sitting there like.
Oh, they're cooking, yeah.
Look at that little son of a bitch.
They're
Don't shoot.
gestating.
Oh,
What? You asked.
I don't
They're
know.
gestating, E.
God, you smug bastard.
when the spiders are defending themselves, yeah, I mentioned that. The venom causes extreme pain, inflammation, loss of muscle control, breathing problems, resulting in paralysis, even
Or-
eventually asphyxiation, or a sweet rod for 4 hours.
So there's
That may or may not be painful.
This could be good news out of Brazil, Costa Rica.
And that's like the last line they mentioned. Oh, the spider's bite can cause an unwanted erection for men.
I've never had
Sometimes
it.
less.
Wait, now it's only unwanted.
Yeah.
I thought it was painful.
We're getting false information here. They're sending mixed messages. I'm thinking we need to. We might need to get bit by one
I
of these.
think
and
we've
see
all
what
had an
happens.
unwanted erection or an unopportune timed erection.
Usually when you were a
but
child.
they're always useful
Yeah.
as long as they're not painful. Oh my God!
God damn it!
Oh
No!
shit!
Not looking.
Oh
Holy shit! No more.
no! Don't want to. That's not worth the boner.
No.
Risking that. This was a massive, massive wound to a hand,
Yeah.
which apparently is from a spider bite.
And a foot. God
The-
damn it, Timco! No! No more. Holy Jesus. Let's
Woo!
go back to the simple banana where they're still gestating. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gestating within the cocoon.
Yeah.
Cocoon's a great word.
Those little
though.
sons of bitches are going to be bastards when they come out of there, too.
Evil.
Oh. God. All right, you want to see this Brooklyn McDonald's fight?
Yep.
We got dozens of kids, a couple adults, 4 teenage girls beating on this pint-sized 15-year-old. The 15-year-old actually is kind of kicking ass, but this is one of those where everybody starts jumping in, and then they knock this girl out, and then it does.
Keep going.
Yeah, one of those. And well, I'll play it here, but I just don't understand. Well, go ahead and play it. Some of the graphic language, so be careful.
Portrait. God, it's portrait.
I know. in a McDonald's.
5-on-1 at this point.
Yep. All girls. The girl's still standing up.
Incredible that she's still standing.
Yeah.
She's probably taken about 60 punches at this point.
Yeah. And she is not letting go of this bitch's hair or shirt. Oh, kicked her in the face right there.
And here's the thing I can guarantee you. If an adult stepped in and tried to help that girl, just tried to pull those other girls off, that adult would have been attacked.
Yep. So now she's done.
She's out.
Took 5 of these animals to do this.
Dude. Oh, man. Just stomping on her head.
That's where you go from assault to attempted murder right there. That's the difference in that play right there, you moron. No, now you're all tough. You got your ass kicked a minute ago. Now you're a badass.
Got your shirt off. You're 5-on-1 on this chick, and she de-shirted you.
Oh, finally an adult steps in. Fucking unbelievable.
Don't you agree? If anybody would have tried to help that girl, they'd have been killed.
Yep. So now she's just laying unconscious on the ground still. And here comes tough guy bitch to keep kicking her again.
Dude, that is such an awful commentary on humanity.
Honest to God. Brutal. Isn't it brutal? Isn't it sickening to see something like that?
Yeah, it is.
Still going. That is so beyond infuriating to me and
Damn,
depressing.
dude, they're still going at her.
Yep. I mean, dude, when we were kids and you saw a fight like this, the second a punch was landed, like 15 guys jumped in and broke it up. All right. You'd see guys shake hands afterwards.
Yep.
This mentality that's going on where you've got a mob of kids and nobody jumps in to go, all right, fuck, enough. You're going to kill her. There's a kid on here that's like, he's heard saying, yo, she's dead. It's a murder. They're cheering this behavior on.
That is so awful.
Get ice.
Get ice. No adults jump in. There were a couple calls to 911. Yeah, it's brutal. Here's the problem with this, though, after the fact. Despite the being beaten to a pulp, the teens refused to talk to police.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
How exactly?
No, the one that was beat in the hospital refuses to talk to the police.
Oh, okay.
And give anyone up.
I thought you meant.
The other ones won't talk either. She's apparently afraid of retaliation, which means she'll probably retaliate instead.
Right.
You know, that's the play there. That's why you wouldn't talk to the police and rat someone out, because you can handle that shit on your own. Get your crew together. Some of the girls who attacked her have links to the Young Savages.
Sounds like a nice group of young ladies.
Yeah, violent crew that operates out of Crown Heights in New York. Community activist Tony Herbert was asking the teenage assailants to surrender to authorities. We have names, we have pictures, we have video of all the individuals.
In portrait.
So save the taxpayers' money and bring yourself forward. Cops said the victim's mother has also refused to cooperate. So what are the cops supposed to do in that situation?
Good thing there's a video.
Mm-hmm. They now want to speak to the teen's father in hopes that he can persuade the girl to press charges. Police believe the brawlers were embroiled in an ongoing feud over someone telling lies.
Jay, we've talked about this before. I forget what the story was, but can the police... What was the... I forget what the story was now, but we talked about it. Can the police do something even if she doesn't press charges?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not up to the person to press charges. The prosecutor is prosecuting on behalf of the people.
Okay.
Saying you defendant, criminal defendant, violated the law. You committed a crime against the people of the state of wherever.
Why do I...
So
I'm remembering that used to be with...
Practically, it can be hard with a rape victim for sure. If a rape victim isn't willing to testify, or say what happens, then it can be tough.
And we used to see that a lot where they took that off the people's plate with women who were abused.
get beat by your guy and then refuse to press charges for fear that he'd come back and kill you, and they started saying, no, we will prosecute anyways.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the girl can't just go, I don't want to press
Right.
charges, and the cop's hands are tied at that point.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't exist anymore. But
tell them lies. That's how this.
Yeah, that's such a misnomer. This idea that I'm not going to press charges. Well, guess what? The prosecutor might.
Yeah. But it helps definitely if there's an interview. I mean, that girl clearly knows why she's in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she could go, oh yeah, this bitch.
But they've got enough there to absolutely send those chicks away for many, many years.
I mean, I would absolutely bring them up on attempted murder. You got a girl passed out cold from a beat down that you've given her, and now you're continuing to just kick her in the face. That'll kill someone.
Dude,
you could absolutely kill someone doing that. We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
You hear about those fights, single punch. Guy gets punched, falls backward, hits his head on a block or something, a concrete
on the cement,
block.
he's done.
Yeah.
Dead.
Sometimes he becomes a math genius.
Or becomes a math genius. It's a roll of the dice.
It's a 50-50.
People were saying, I wanted to help her, but I knew if I got involved, I'd get jumped too.
Yep.
Would you get involved in something like that? That'd be tough.
It
man.
would be.
I think you would, though.
I think you would too. I think you would too. I know that you would step in when the girl was out cold and everybody backed off for a second. I think for sure most people in this room would take that opportunity to go, all right, guys, all right, enough.
But I'm not surprised no one did there, man. I mean, that is a mob there are 30 people standing around there that want to see that.
Yeah.
And that are cool with seeing that. And anybody who's going to upset that show, hell no, you're not helping her. Get the hell off her so these 5 can continue to beat her ass.
This is such a knock on society today. Like this to me is the equivalent of a crowd gathering to watch ISIS members stone someone to death.
Yep. It's brutal.
I mean, it's just
something in humanity, man. I don't know how you turn off and not care about someone else who's getting killed right there.
Yeah. I don't either. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Well,
cops were out in force at the McDonald's yesterday, but this community activist says the chain has to take some responsibility. The NYPD is not their private security force. They have to provide security knowing they get an abundance of these young minds. So, I don't know, man.
Hey, at Zot Ford, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Right now, you can lease a 2014 Focus or a 2015 Fusion or a 2015 Escape for just $123 per month. You heard right. $123 gets you a new Focus, Fusion, or Escape at Zot Ford. Maybe Big E can't count to 3, but at Zot Ford, the math is simple.
You know, that's bullshit. Couldn't they fucking make the number, maybe something other than counting?
Why?
What? Can't they make the number something other than... What are you talking about,
a good
man?
Point, Jay. He does have a good point.
Yeah, great point. Finish your thought on that.
I'm just saying I can count to 3.
Can't they make the number something different
yesterday
than counting?
If you could count to 3 in French, and you couldn't. So
what does that mean, dude? Hold on. Back up. Can't they make the number something different than counting?
Okay, I don't.
Finish your thought.
Something I really couldn't do, I guess.
Spend less time in the math room and start learning the English language.
Son.
I once heard that somewhere. Maybe Big E can't count to 3, but at Zot Ford, the math is simple. Listening to the Detroit Cast equals amazing deals for you, your friends, and your family. Check out the deals and massive inventory at zotford.com. That's SZOTT. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Big E.
I was talking to Steve the other day, and he's wants to convey the message that I really want to hook up Detroit Cast listeners to something special. I want them to know, but not at the expense of other people. We give good service to everybody, but I want, I feel this connection to Detroit Cast, people that are supporting the Detroit Cast and coming to Zot Ford.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. So, they want you to come in and mention the Detroit Cast and let them take care of you.
Yeah,
so.
Please continue to support them. They are supporting us in a way that's vital right now. So
it's critical.
Great.
So we got I mentioned earlier the Boston Marathon bombings, and the testimony is going on. It's all horrific. But we've got someone that has spoken up. The guy, Dun Meng.
Well,
oh wait,
Make sure I don't make an error here.
Mhm.
What nationality is he?
I believe it's Cantonese, perhaps. Mandarin.
I don't feel like Chinese tonight anyway.
Okay, good.
God,
God, I don't hear
damn.
it every time. I only hear it like I don't know. It's,
Usually I talk over it.
yeah, that's probably why.
So anyway, the call was made after midnight, April 19th, 4 days after the 2 bombs went off at the finish line that killed the 3 people and injured 260 others. Dun Ming.
Ooh, me sorry, me no speaking Chinese.
He testified that he pulled over on the side of the road in Brighton, Massachusetts to send a friend a text message when someone knocked on his passenger side window and motioned him to roll it down. And he did. The hand reached through the window, opened the door, and the man, later identified as Tamerlan Sarnoff, climbed in with a gun. He pointed a gun at me, at my head. And so he gave him like $45, and then at that point Tamerlan demands that he drives. At some point, he pulled out the magazine of his gun, shows Meng the lone bullet inside, saying, "I'm serious, don't be stupid." He still thought he could be the victim of a simple robbery until Tamerlan asked him the next question. "Do you know the Boston Marathon explosion?" "Yes, I do." "Do you know who did it?" "No, I don't." Tamerlan blurts out, "I did it." And then later, Jokar, what?
Nothing.
Jokar's in another car, and he joins them in the car, and they switch seats with Meng. So now
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
Tamerlan sits and is driving now. The 3 stopped at the bank, and they got Meng's bank PIN number and stole $800 from his account. When all of a sudden his roommate calls, because it's after midnight, and Dong Ming gets a call from his roommate, this chick, and she calls his phone and texted him in Mandarin. And Tamerlan demands a translation.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. And it was, "Where are you? It's dangerous outside." Because this is when like Boston was on lockdown and shit. Tamerlan asked him how to say no in Mandarin, and Meng told him. Tamerlan was suspicious and asked Meng for an English to Mandarin translation dictionary, which was an app on his phone. He had an app for it. So he gave it to him, and he responded to the roommate's text. That prompts a call from another roommate, the boyfriend of this chick. So he pulls out the gun again, and he's holding it at his head, and he's telling Meng, "You have to answer the phone right now. If you say a single word in Chinese, I will kill you right now." He instructs him to tell the caller that he is staying out because he's not feeling well. That would sound normal, right? You're talking to your roommates after midnight in English.
I stay out, not feel well.
He picks up the phone and answers in English. "How you doing?" Which is very weird because my roommates are Chinese too. I say, "I feel sick. I'm going to stay at a friend's house." and the dude's like, "What? Why are you speaking English?" And Meng says in English again, "I'm staying at a friend's house. I have to go right now." And then hangs up the phone. There he is. There's my man, Dun Meng.
Are you sure Meng is a Chinese name? It sounds Spanish to me.
Does it?
Mexican.
Hey,
name.
Meng. What's going on, Meng? My name is Meng. This is my brother, Host B.
That doesn't make any sense.
So he hangs up. He slams down the phone. He's like, "Oh, yeah, stay at friends, not to feel my tummy. I'm very, very upset. I stay at friends." And hangs up the phone. And then Tamerlan's like, "Good job, boy. Good job." Just past midnight, Meng made his escape when they stopped at that Shell gas station. Remember that video of him like darting across the street? And ran over to the mobile station, calls 911, and dispatch picks up the phone. He's hysterical. He carjacked me. He carjacked me. They did the marathon explosion. And then he was gone. He got the fuck out of there.
What
thank
luck,
God.
man. You're the guy that they choose to carjack. How many?
But there was no one on the road, probably. He was probably the only cat on the road.
Wasn't he driving a Mercedes, too? Didn't he have something nice?
He might have. I don't remember
I
exactly
thought
what
he
he
had
was driving.
something nice.
But you would have never gotten carjacked.
What do you mean?
Well, because Dong Meng's critical mistake was he pulled over to text someone.
Oh,
And
see, there you go, Jay. If
a
I
life lesson for
almost
you.
got himself killed
right,
from that.
that's what you get. He was trying to be safe, and he was an idiot.
Jay preaches about the dangers of texting and driving over and over, and here stopping and texting almost got this poor son of a bitch murdered.
You know what, Jay?
Who knew?
I'd rather risk 1,000 texts on the road than one than one random situation where I'm gonna get carjacked.
Oh, let that be a lesson.
Exactly. I'm gonna start texting more even because of it, just in case.
We'd encourage his ass. now he seriously is.
Fuck no, I'm not stopping. You kidding me? I could get carjacked. Remember that bombing case thing we talked about?
Wouldn't you just
Mang, I remember that Mang guy. Remember Mang?
Out of all the shit we
that
talk
Mexican guy, he got carjacked.
Out of all the shit we talk about in the show, that'll be the only thing that will resonate. That's the only thing I'll take out of this entire situation.
Experience this whole project.
People will be driving with E, just be like, "Why, don't, dude? It's not safe for you to text and drive."
Fuck you, Mang. Fuck you, Mang.
I might get carjacked.
No way. That's stopping. It's a death sentence.
Oh, he spit it out. He spit Red Bull out. Nosy? You come out your nose?
Pause, swallow.
No.
What made you lose it?
Death sentence. It's a death sentence.
He gets tickled at the most interesting times, doesn't he?
He sure does.
I gotta go.
Oh, you got to clean up, do you?
He's holding in his hand what he spit out of his mouth.
Yeah. Good for him. It's not, at least it's not on the floor. How awesome would it be to be such a celebrity that you can go to spring training
this is
and
a great
play
story.
baseball for like 10 teams?
Will Ferrell's doing it right, man.
He is. He just doesn't give a shit. I heard that new movie he's got coming out with Kevin Hart. My parents went to a movie the other day. They had a really long preview for it. My dad was telling me they had nudity in the preview.
Oh my gosh.
So it was an R-rated movie they were seeing. And he said, but I've never seen a preview where they had nudity in it. He said it looked hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, just not to be me. I'm a Will Ferrell fan, but it kind of looks dumb to me.
Yeah, I don't know. They saw the preview and
okay.
said it was really good. By the way, they went to the Golden State Warriors game the other night.
Oh, the Pistons?
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's like,
cool.
I want to go to a Warriors game, before they come back to
They're
Michigan.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, they're awesome. So they went, I think it was last night.
Yeah, it might have been.
Wednesday night for our purposes.
Yeah.
So Wednesday night, yeah. I haven't talked to him about how the game was, but anyway, Will Ferrell he's doing this for a Funny or Die thing that they're filming.
He started that website, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or at least for sure
Or
co-founded or
was in on the ground floor of it
yeah,
or
he was
something.
definitely from the beginning.
Wasn't one of the first skits him answering the door for
Yes!
his landlady? His
Yes, the
landlady's
little
like
baby.
a little 4-year-old sweet pie. She
Really?
comes up and she just starts
Yes.
swearing at him.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
son of a
hilarious.
bitch, your rent is late. And then
Right.
she escalates it and just goes nuts on him. And he's like, sorry, I'll get it to you. He's just reacting to this little tiny girl. It's
That's
so cute. man.
hilarious.
That was great. You're right. That was absolutely one of the. If it wasn't the first one on that site, it was the first one that I knew about. Funny or Die. Is that
I remember
video.
seeing Will Ferrell for the first time with kind of his fro going.
Yeah,
it's
because
just funny. You know?
yeah.
I remember in the beginning thinking it was Funny Orty.
Oh, funny. You got it.
Yeah. Anyway, he was playing, talking about having his game face on. He went full out. I don't know if you saw this. Jay and I were looking at it earlier.
No, I'll have to see it.
He got in full uniform, and he went to the Mariners Oakland A's game. That was the first game he started playing shortstop for the A's. And then all of a sudden they traded him, and so the Mariners sent out a tweet stuff saying, breaking news, Will Ferrell's just been traded to the A's.
They trade him for just something shitty, like a bag of balls. Or
They
something.
called it a Cat BNL, comedic actor to be named later.
Okay.
And hashtag Ferrell takes the field. There he is.
That's freaking
throwing
awesome.
out the first pitch of the Cubs game. But the Mariners announced on Twitter, and then he played second base for the Mariners. And then he went because they've got all these games going on at the same
in the
time.
area,
Yeah, whether in Florida or in the Cactus League in Arizona. The Cubs Angels game. As a kid, he rooted for the Angels before they became the L.A. Angels of Anaheim, adjacent to L.A., just Southern California, north of San Diego
God,
Angels.
how dumb, dude.
That's what Ferrell said. He kicked off Game 2 playing for the Angels, taking center field in place of Mike Trout. He
Pretty good trade out.
Right, yeah.
He fielded a ball, they said, successfully. I don't know if that means it just dribbled out to him or if he actually caught it on the fly. I'm not sure. After that, he was traded to the Cubs, where he played first base and coached third base. He also batted and struck out.
God, that'd be so much fun.
Dude.
Nothing is expected of you. You're expected to blow
Right.
everything. So if you
Yeah.
actually came up with a play, that'd be so badass.
Yeah. Game 3 was the Reds and Diamondbacks in a blockbuster trade. The Arizona Diamondbacks acquired Ferrell from the Cubs in exchange for 2 specialty hot dogs.
Nice.
And then he played for Cincinnati. Then he played for the Giants and the White Sox, the Dodgers, and the Padres.
Dude,
So-
Jay, you hit it
God, that'd
right.
be so fun, man.
Yeah.
You said it right, Jay, man. Like, I know there probably are people out there that maybe get tired of him and this and that. But you know what? You're right. I think he's just doing shit that he probably he's made this money. He's got enough.
Having fun. What do you do with Chad, the drummer from Chili Peppers?
Right.
Oh, that was awesome.
Fallon, right?
Yeah.
Because that's always been the comparison. Those guys look so much alike. Right?
Yeah.
They
Totally.
get misidentified in public all the time, I guess, as each other.
Yeah.
That
was really funny.
But yeah,
having the
dude.
two
Why
drum
wouldn't
sets.
you have fun
Who gives
like
a
that,
and
right?
you know he doesn't care. That's
No.
the thing. He's just doing probably shit that he always thought, if I had $10 million, what would I do?
10 million.
Or I don't, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you get to that point with Liquid where you can call your own shots. Pick and choose whatever project you want to do. It'd be amazing.
It was funny the other day, on VH1, I believe it's VH1, they randomly in the day, they'll replay SNL episodes, literally from the 90s or 2000, whatever. They just replay episodes. And they were replaying a best of Will Ferrell, or Ferrell, whatever. And it's like, sometimes I even forget that it wasn't just like he was on SNL for a year, or he had a few bits here.
Years.
Right, and he was amazing. Like, he could have left SNL. He could have never done anything after SNL, and I still would have freaking...
His George Bush was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His Bush
Strategery.
Yeah.
And just that look on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That fucking
is he the next Bill Murray? Is he taking Bill Murray's place as that guy?
Like kind of
just does
buffoonery
shit.
guy. Yeah, how Bill shows up at the pro-ams and
Yeah.
dicks around on the golf course. Maybe, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Bill Murray was doing those things a year. I don't know if he's still doing them, but that thing where he was like, yeah, right. He was kind of staying young, going up to people at fast food restaurants and just eating their food,
Yeah.
and walking away and going no one will ever believe you or something. And then but it was cool. He's Bill Murray has become almost a cult, a hipster fucking big fucking deal underground now. You'll see 19, 20-year-old kids wearing these Bill Murray shirts.
Yeah, Bill Murray's a
How
beast.
old is he? Fucking 70, bro?
Yeah, and what's he done that's mainstream in a long time?
Lost in Translation was pretty
He had that movie
right?
But that was still a while ago,
He
wasn't
had a
it?
good one just a little
15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
I'm sure it wasn't big, but that one he just did recently was really
with
good.
what's her
St.
name?
Vincent. Oh, no, I was thinking St.
Oh, I heard good things about
It
that.
was real good. Me and my dad saw it. I thought
And that was recent? I guess
Yeah,
I
that was
haven't been
within
plugged into.
6 months or so.
He did the comedy with what's her name too.
Is he the Royal Tannenbaums?
Yeah, he was in all those movies.
He was great in. Did you watch Zombieland? He had that role in Zombieland. Remember they ran across Bill Murray. Remember that or no? Zombie. It was obviously kind of a more joking version of a zombie apocalypse. Well, whatever. It was a good role. It was a cool role.
Was it a quick role or just a total cameo? Or?
Kind of. He was in it for a decent amount of time, but they end up shooting him because some guy thinks he's a zombie. It was a good ending to him either. You're right. It wasn't like a cameo.
Was that
but
movie
it wasn't
good?
I thought it was really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
We had talked about this the other day, Jay, but we never went into details about it. The firing squad thing.
Oh yeah, bringing back the firing squad because of the problems with the execution drugs. The drug cocktail.
And it sounds like they're trying to get this on the books in a few states.
Yeah, what was it? Was it Utah the other day that halted that one because the drugs were cloudy?
Yes, cloudy.
No, was that Utah?
I thought it was Alabama or something.
Yeah, I thought it was too. Utah.
Okay. Or is this Utah with the firing squad?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Utah is the only state in the past 40 years to carry out a death sentence by firing squad. And they're talking about bringing it back. Yeah, the Republican-controlled state legislature gave final approval to the proposal on Tuesday night, with lawmakers billing it as a backup plan as states struggle to find execution drugs. There's, the shortage.
Hey, the whole thing about the drug was kind of to take away this awful feeling of having to stand there with a blindfold and get knocked in the head by a bullet, right?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a bit more humane or something.
Totally.
And it's become this big problem as people, oh my God, but then it burns when it goes in and it's uncomfortable and all this shit.
Sometimes it takes up to an hour for them to die.
It's just opened the door for all this argument by lawyers.
Yeah.
And so, all right, we'll go back to the old bullet through the brain then.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. We tried to help you out, but
it's so funny, man, because that's what it is. It comes down to the fact that all these lawsuits and all these attorneys keep tying this shit up. Oh, the drugs look cloudy.
Yeah, we're not sure what the drugs are. It's
Yeah.
not clear to us.
It's inhumane. What do we do? Oh, you got to hold it up. And they're holding these things up. And then when anything
afraid of
goes
needles.
bad, whenever anything goes south, and it's like, oh, he was writhing in pain and blah blah.
Okay,
And
fine. Let's just throw a bullet through his head
and that's what they've basically
at
said.
a high rate
like,
of speed.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we know this way works.
Yeah.
So I've never understood this argument of we can't get the death drugs. Like that to me, like you could use Drano.
Oh,
You could use air. You put air in the veins and you could kill someone. Like where this idea that we need to go out of the country and get drugs to make the cocktail to kill some. Just give them a massive overdose of heroin. Who gives a shit?
right.
Like it's
Water,
been successful in
whatever.
water, right? I mean,
Anything foreign to the body should do the job.
yeah. Why do we need to make a big deal out of it? I just don't get it. The firing squad, they say, is more humane. They've argued that trained marksman is faster than drawn out deaths that have occurred in lethal injections.
There you go. Go back to that.
They should their argument is legislature should be discussing whether, not how, to execute citizens. I think they lose their citizen tag as soon as they commit a murder that's going to get you on the death penalty.
I think the legislature already discussed that, and that's why it's on the books.
Yeah. Do you know when the last firing squad was?
Can you just say
In Utah?
What?
Or just
I thought you said in the article when it was. No.
I don't think I said when it was though.
if you did, I wasn't listening.
I thought it was 40 years ago, you said.
Nope.
Okay.
All right,
They're the last state in 40 years
Okay.
that's trying to put on the
press
books.
that he heard the
He
term of 40 years though.
Utah's the only state in the last 40 years to carry one out.
Okay.
But they did it in 2010. Yeah, my man Ronnie Lee Gardner was put to death by 5 police officers with 30 caliber Winchester rifles. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? The DC
From what distance?
A foot. No, I don't know. You know where they don't aim for the head though, which is kind of discouraging. They go for the heart. I'd be the guy that aims for the head. I'd say,
I missed.
Yeah,
Got
a
a
little
kink.
Had a kink in my arm, and I don't know, because I'd want to know if there was no bullet in the head. I'd know that I was shooting blanks.
Yeah.
But that one time that you'd get the kill shot, God, that'd be a great feeling, wouldn't it? It'd be a great feeling.
No, I wouldn't want to do it.
I would always think about what this monster did to get to that
I know,
point.
but I still wouldn't want to do it. I still couldn't end someone's life unless I absolutely had to.
Look at it. It does look kind of barbaric. I got to be honest. They put like sandbags on the side of the thing.
Yeah. Strapped to a chair like that. Damn, dude.
Let me
Yeah.
see.
I just kind of pictured him standing against the wall.
With
Yeah,
the,
against
look.
wood or
with the blindfold.
Yeah.
why is the blindfold needed?
Yeah, that's kind of too humane, isn't it?
I
Let
don't
him
want
see it.
I wouldn't want the blindfold anyway.
Yeah, you'd want to
You'd
see
want
it
to watch
coming.
it.
I'd want to see the end of the freaking
Would
life.
you tweet
man.
about it?
Maybe I would. No, of course I wouldn't be able to.
A handful of
Wait,
inmates.
you're talking about being the victim. You wouldn't want the blindfold, right?
Being the victim. Yeah, being
They're not
shot.
shooting at somebody with blindfolds on. You're
No,
clear on that.
yes. No, I'm talking about if I was.
That might be fun though.
That
Put
would be
blindfolds on, see if they
hilarious.
can
That's
hit
not
him.
what I said. No, yeah, that's.
Nope, you guys don't. Oh, you just hit a leg and an arm. Try it again.
Yeah, reload.
Could have somebody talk
Take
them through
two.
it. All right. Little higher, little higher, little higher. Okay, right
Now.
there. Shoot. Oh, no, got a
Oh.
shoulder.
No,
Little lower.
I was saying that if I was being shot, I'd actually rather not even have a blind.
Oh, I thought you had a kind of a cool, I don't know, alternative.
No.
The Utah firing squads could be reinstated more than a decade after the state abandoned the practice. Utah lawmakers stopped offering inmates the choice in 2004, saying the method created too much of a media frenzy around murderers and took away attention from the victims. A handful of inmates on death row were sentenced before the law changed. They were grandfathered. So they still, if they want, could choose that because they're grandfathered in as a choice. So I think that's why the 2010 thing happened, because the guy was like, fuck you, bring it on.
Got that going for him.
Yeah. So if you're on death row and could be grandfathered in, would you take that?
Great opportunity. That's great news out of Utah.
Absolutely.
Prisoner choice.
I never pictured a firing squad, them sitting in a chair.
I know. I thought that was reserved for old Sparky.
Yeah.
The whole chair with a hat. I think, remember the story of the ripping the head off?
Yeah, dude.
I think that would be a good one.
That's a great one.
Would you rather have the guillotine or the firing squad?
Firing squad.
You would?
There's
There's
guillotine.
absolutely no mistakes with the guillotine.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think I'm going
Guillotine's going to
guillotine.
work
Guillotine.
every time.
It's
You're
gonna be
never going to
pretty
feel it.
instant.
Plus, you might
Pretty
have
instant.
that little second where you get to look
where
outside
you
your
could,
head.
Yeah, where you could say something.
We don't really
Be
know.
like, fuck you.
Well, no, but you know what I'm talking about when you're
Just creep them out for the rest of their lives. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I saw the severed head. Say fuck you.
right.
But you wouldn't see the severed head because doesn't it just drop into a basket?
Yeah, I guess it does.
But you might have a split second of vision when your head's off your head.
Great
body.
pointy. I'm going guillotine.
But dude,
We don't
if
know,
you could
but-
get that interview with the head afterwards to ask him what he saw,
You only have
that'd be
like
awesome. But I don't think you're going to get that interview ever.
I know, but I'm talking if it's me, you might have, we don't know, but you might have that split second where you can see when your head's cut off, like just for a split second.
No one will ever know.
No one will ever know, but you'll know.
What would your last words be? E? Is your
Or
head-
whatever.
I was just going to say.
No, it's got to be fuck you, right?
Yeah,
I
but then
mean-
you'd say or whatever.
yeah,
Fuck you or
you're
whatever.
right. You're right.
You'd only
Suck
get
it.
fuck you.
Fuck you would be your last intended words.
Yes,
and then
okay.
or whatever would mutter out.
You're right. You're
He'd
right.
only get out. He'd pause for a second, realize, oh no, and then his brain would shut off, and he wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to get anything out.
have to be fuck you though, and then or whatever. I guess.
I guess. What do we got for email, Jay?
We do have some email, but before we get to that, I'd like to note
No.
our friend Brandon sent us some gifts.
The guy banging his sister?
Says no, this is he signed it Brandon, not the one who fucks his sister.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you for that clarification. He says, "Good evening, Coxman and Stock Inspector E. Here's the custom-made judge's gavel I promised you per my phone call on episode 291. This, friends,
Oh no,
is a gavel.
Oh Jesus!
Oh.
Fuck,
It's pretty
that's
massive.
brutal. Yeah, it
dude,
is.
it's allowed with the headphones on.
This thing is huge. He made it in his wood shop. It's sweet. It's lacquered.
Holy hell!
It
What
is
a manly
thing
guy.
to behold. Happy birthday, Eric. Says he. Here's a new pink hat for you to enjoy. What's it say on the hattie? Biggie Stock Inspector. It's a pink
It's a sweet
trucker
hat, actually.
Yeah, pink trucker hat.
Dude,
Thanks,
is
Brandon.
this thing breaking already?
No. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
P.S. It's still not a hill to die on. If one is low on fluids, keep
Agreed.
it stiff.
Agreed. Not a
So,
hill to die on. Jay.
Thank you, Brandon.
Are you
Really
breaking
appreciate
it loose?
What?
Look at where it's connected.
No. Dude,
Are you sure
what are you talking about? That's just like a drip in the lacquer or something.
it is?
Yeah, this thing's solid.
All right.
It's made of rich mahogany or something.
That's not a drip. That's wood cut.
Okay,
It
it's
looked like it was coming out. a
no,
little
it's
bit or
not coming
something.
out.
Doesn't it look like it is a little bit?
Yeah, you can just see where the notch didn't fit totally in. Are you criticizing his
I'm not being
craftsmanship on
critical.
air?
I'm not being
I think this is
critical
an
of it.
off-air
But it has
conversation,
some-
to be
yeah.
honest, Mike.
I'm just saying it's not.
It's a beautiful piece.
It's a little offset. I'm not saying I could do better, but
Look, man, wood is wood. There's always going to be little things that make it have some character. Okay,
no, it's a character flaw. Okay,
it's beautiful. It's lovely. I
I
love it.
agree. It's a lovely piece, but when you break it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah,
That's all
all
I'm
of
saying.
these will be broken at some point.
God, that's
Jesus.
yeah, that's bad. Crowd is spoken.
Mike's afraid I'm going to break the table.
Yeah, don't break the
it might.
table.
The Detroit Cast drinking game posted on the message board. Check that out if you haven't already.
It seems brutal.
Yeah, the views expressed by K-Dog are not those of the Detroit Cast. I must say he's just a random asshole.
Yeah.
So if any of you die
don't
trying to do
sue
this,
us.
yeah, we are not condoning this. I'm just simply reading it.
I'm encouraging it, but not condoning it. But if you do in fact die, please don't sue us.
Yeah. If you're looking for something else to do during the show, says K-Dog, might propose playing the Detroit Cast drinking game. Here are some rules to get you started. Feel free to post your own on this thread. Take one shot anytime anyone says, "God damn it!" Anytime the poos barks, eats something of Jay's, or otherwise disrupts the show. There's a good one right there.
That's brutal.
Anytime Eric repeats something that someone else just said. Oh, God. Anytime Officer Walter says, "I will end you," or "That's my bad." Anytime anyone is reminded to speak into the mic. Take 2 shots whenever the crown is spoken. Whenever Eric says, whatever. Oh, shit.
Oh, dude, that's
2 shots for whatever.
Oh, dude, it should be a tenth of a shot for whatever. That happens 100 times a show.
Anytime someone coughs when huffing smelling salts. Whenever Eric asks, "Right, Jay?"
Oh,
That's a tough one, too. Take 3 shots whenever Eric actually says something funny.
Well, geez, that could be a
Ooh,
million,
yeah.
20 times an episode at least.
Whenever anyone references the amount of time they've been in the business. And then,
Oh,
you know,
what, like you telling E you've been
Yeah.
in the business 13 years and you
God
still
damn
know
it,
how to
talking to the mic. That would be a brutal one because
Yeah.
that would get you 5 shots right there.
Yep.
Brandon speaks up and says, "I think this game may kill somebody, and that might be some good free publicity for the show." Good point.
It's a great point.
But again, I stand by what we said about TDC and not being connected to K-Dog formally.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole.
If you're going to die, though, that we would appreciate the publicity. And if you are going to sue us, just call Helm Law.
Yeah.
Do us that solid.
Yeah.
If you're going to die and then sue us for said death, at least use David Helm Law and you know,
give him the
give him the
33 and a
business
third.
since he's helping us out.
Ed chimes in. How about adding one shot when Eric says this is funny and it's followed by something either factual or not humorous? 3 shots if he says it will be funny and it actually makes you laugh. Anytime Jay says I don't have cable, oof.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
So you get the idea.
You said that
thread's
today,
moving on.
right?
Somebody
You
chimed-
definitely did.
Yeah, I usually say that.
Yeah, yeah. You
Usually
referenced
comes up. Steven chimes in with an email. Gents, I have to admit I'm a little disappointed in the listener that wrote in about how annoying Matt with 1 T and Bill with there's 2 L's in Bill were. First of all, they weren't. And B, those guys paid money to support the show to keep this thing going and got to watch and have what seemed like a good fucking time.
Yeah, they had a good
Ciao,
time.
Steven. So,
Yeah, they did. They were good.
Yeah, nice guys for sure.
They can drink too, man. They brought 2 30-packs of Busch Light over.
Those sons
They
of
gave
bitches.
1 to E to take home, and then they killed like half a 30-pack, at
Probably more.
least or more. Was that whole 30-pack gone by the time they left? The whole 30-pack. Well,
I mean, some of
Timco
us
probably
had
drank
some.
20 of them. So I don't know. Did you guys have any?
I had
You had
one
a
or
couple?
two.
I had 1. I think I put 2 or 3 in the fridge after.
Okay.
But yeah,
But they put a
the
dent
better
in it.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So give them a break, man. Like you point out, they did pay. They had a
Yeah.
good time. A lot of you would have done the same, you sons of bitches.
Oh yeah, you would have. And the fact is, how many times have they heard from our history and background? God damn it, get the boys a beer and a shot. Like, how could they not come over and have a beer and a shot?
with
right?
Busch Lights.
Yeah.
To boot. Stacy chimes in. Eric was absolutely wrong that these fireside chats were played before each episode of South Park. Didn't sound right to me at all when he said it.
Face.
But I remembered them, says Stacy. And you know what? There's some
I showed him one of them for one, and you could.
those little mini intros that you speak of, were on the DVDs only.
Okay, well, so what?
Face. You brought it up like it started every episode.
I didn't fucking ever
the
watch
first
the
season.
show for one. But you know what? My buddy has all the shows on DVD, and when I watched through them, they were always there. So I didn't realize. It's on the fucking DVD.
Now
It's
your story's changing, and what does that do, Jay?
No, it doesn't. No, my story's not changing. You're right. Okay, I was wrong. Again, apparently they weren't.
Speaks to your credibility.
No, it doesn't, because I didn't change any fucking story. Okay, maybe I was wrong. They weren't aired originally on Comedy Central, but they were on the DVDs apparently, and they were at the
So you
beginning.
lied about that.
I didn't lie about. No, I didn't.
The fact
know.
that you're lying about it now,
No,
also,
I didn't.
Jay.
No, it doesn't. I didn't
Goes to your
even. I never
credibility.
watched South Park. Never watched it.
All right, E, shift gears and let's explain this, you son of a bitch. Joel chimes in. Look, listen, toward the end of Thursday's
Explain all
episode,
this
Big
shit.
E made a comment about the 13-year-old girl who was allegedly exposed multiple times to the non-erect penis. He pretty much scoffed at the fact, E did, that the girl became a touch-me-not. And his reasoning was because she wasn't actually raped. Remember, the girl was traumatized and she said, hey, all through high school, I basically was
Mike
a
agreed.
touch-me-not. She was only just
Don't drag me
allegedly
down.
exposed to said penis. I'm just curious because E is a well-known touch-me-not. I'd like to know what horrific
Oh,
sexual
boy.
events E would deem viable for one to become a
it's-
touch-me-not.
It's because I'm
Oh,
autistic,
boy.
you son
You,
of a
sir.
bitch. You're making fun of an autistic kid, you asshole.
Oh, he pulled it out.
He owns it. He's played the autistic card.
You son of a bitch.
Playing
Backed
the
into the
retard
corner.
card.
He comes out swinging with the autistic card.
He's
I'm
playing-
just a retard. Leave me alone. I've had enough. Uncle.
Dude, you do not start playing the tard card in this room.
No, you son of a bitch. You can't do that.
That's worse than the race card, E. You can't play
Why?
the retard card.
I mean, you guys always sit there. Every time I say anything emotional, it's it's on the spectrum. So you know what? I'm gonna fucking play the
Yeah,
card
but that's
here.
what we say.
Yeah.
That's what Beth says too. So
Joel continues. What happened, E? Was it your uncle? A
I don't know.
teacher? Who molested you, E?
you know what? I
Peel
also-
that onion!
You know what? By the way, I recently was watching Conan.
Saw it? Did you saw it?
Whatever. Recently was watching Conan. And
Saul, my
they
old
had,
Jewish uncle.
they had the Always Sunny gang on there, and they were fucking Charlie Day was up there, and they were talking about how he doesn't like being touched by other humans. Like the one girl that's on the show, I don't know her real name, but she plays D. Started to touch him, and she said it was probably the most uncomfortable he's been because Charlie doesn't like being touched. So I have that in common with Charlie Day, and he created Always Sunny, so co-created.
Such
That's
a
right.
dork. Aaron chimes in. He's been silent for many
Yes.
many
I thought
moons.
I thought he quit
I
listening
thought
to
he
the show.
died.
Yeah. Subject line, long time no talkie. I think Aaron's fucked up while he's writing this. Listen to what he says. Jay, it's been a week since I have emailed you. I want you to know Aaron's still here and a super fan.
Where
It
is
might-
Aaron right now?
It might be the Valium or the Novocaine talking, but I love you guys. No homo, and you make my day badass. Keep on keeping on. Don't tell Gab, but I'm getting the greasiest burger I can find with cheese curds and a motherfucking milk mild shake.
Why would Gab care
A
about
mild shake.
That dude's fucked up.
Yeah.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, I hope your recovery is speedy.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to you, dude, I hope it wears off soon, my man.
Wow, that's brutal. That's totally.
Yeah, Aaron was not himself.
Why would Gab care about
He
what
doesn't
ate?
have his wits about him. I'm
Yeah.
worried about Aaron.
Yeah, that was a disturbing email, honestly. A little peek into his world right now.
I love you guys. No homo.
Did he have some sort of surgical procedure in the mouth,
It's
or
the Novocaine or the Valium had to be
leads
mouth
me to
related.
think some butcher dentist took after him?
Poor Aaron. Maybe
Oh.
we should send him some flowers.
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
Ed chimes in, and this will probably finish us out for the week. It's a bit lengthy, but an interesting story. Guys, you've been talking a lot about trying to take a cop's gun.
Yeah,
Don't
don't recommend that, by the way.
Definitely don't. Which reminded me of a ridiculous story. It happened in Ferguson, Missouri. Oh, no, different ridiculous story. From Ed's past. My friend was a couple years younger than me. So when I went to college break, these friends were still in college, and I was were broke, but I was working. They wanted to go to South Padre, so I was in. Drove all night. We got to the hotel. I crashed. My buddies got hammered, and I crashed on the bed. I was woke up in what felt like 5 minutes, telling me one of the guys broke his hand while punching another friend in the face. We had to take him to the hospital. I was wiped out and thought they were just exaggerating, so I asked to look at it. Since you could see the bone cracked under the skin, I guess we had to take him to the hospital. I got directions from the front desk who didn't really speak English. This was all before GPS and smartphones, so we just had to try to figure it out. I took the guy with the hand and another hammered friend to the hospital. We went about 20 miles before the first turn, and then it seemed like we were driving on the next road forever. I'm driving 60 miles per hour on an unmarked 55 per hour road. People were just blowing past me. Finally, a guy blew past me going what I would guess was 100 miles per hour, and a cop pulled him over. I thought we were very lost, so I pulled behind the cop. Likely already not a great idea.
Yeah.
I started getting out. My drunk friend without the broken hand decided to get out.
Oh.
I told him to sit in the car, and he gave me a look that I've only seen 3 times in my life, all tied to horrible acts he was about to commit. I think we all know that look and have a friend with that look.
Yes.
This time he tells me he's going to steal the cop's gun.
What?
And he gets very giddy. I told him, God damn it, you are not going to do that. And then reiterated 4 times on our way to the cop that I would kill him if he even looked like he was reaching for it. I told the cop that my friend had a badly broken hand and we were looking for the hospital. That begins my story of the weirdest cop I've ever met. The cop tells me, it's your lucky day, boys. I'm a first responder. It was not our lucky day, says Ed. Just let me go. Let this guy go, meaning the speeder. He came back and asked me to see the hand. He said our friend needed a splint. He opened his trunk and found his gauze and tape. He then said he would need a 1x4 and asked if we had one.
A 1x4?
Like a stick?
Like a 1x4 piece of wood, like lumber. Ed says no. He asked me to look around for one. We were in the middle of a farm field, so I didn't like our chances, but didn't want to anger the cop. Mind you, this entire time I have to make sure I'm close enough to the cop that I can tackle my friend if he remembers he wants the cop's gun. I walk around for a little bit, and by some miracle, I dig up a 3-inch long 1x4 out of the dirt. I'm sorry, a 3-foot long 1x4 out of the dirt. I'm so pleased with myself and walk it back to the cop. He looks at it and says, "Is it sterile?"
Is he fucking with him right now?
Ed looks at him with the most puzzled look he's ever given an authority figure and asked, "The 1x4 that I dug out of the dirt on the side of the road?" With a straight face, he responded, "Yes."
Oh my God.
I told him no, and he told me, "Keep looking." I told him we would never find a sterile 1x4 on the side of the road. He looked like he had just lost his puppy and told me, "Well, I guess we'll have to make a sling." He had me break the 1x4 a little smaller, and then he wrapped the board and the gauze around the guy's hand, or around the guy's neck. The only help he actually provided is when he gave us a police escort with his lights and siren on. When we got to the hospital, the doctor told us it was a very good thing he did not try to splint it, as the doctor would have had to go pick out the pieces of broken bone. I still wonder why the cop needed a sterile board, as it was not an open wound. Anyway, it was the top 10 weirdest day for me, likely way too long and boring for there. Oh, I don't think so, Ed.
Yeah.
I thought you guys may get a kick out of it. I like it, Ed. Thanks.
God, that's funny, man.
Can you imagine a cop telling you something?
No.
Find me a 1x4. You're like looking around.
In the middle of a field.
I can't believe he found one.
By a miracle, found a 3-foot 1x4.
An unsterile one.
Yeah, unsterile.
Unfortunately. So we'll save the rest for Monday.
All right.
Well, wish you all a great weekend, though.
For sure. For sure. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with the show. Don't forget to vote at the Podcast Awards, podcastawards.com. And just look for us in the comedy section, or the comedy one, and the People's Choice. And please continue sharing, liking our posts, commenting on them. All of that stuff really, really helps. So we appreciate that. With that, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you guys Monday for an all-new edition of this show.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God, watch you grow.